Hi, good morning. Let me share my screen. Okay. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so we'll continue with where we left yesterday. So we were trying to create a table in the smartphone.
Yes.
Let me go to the smartphones. So yesterday we were facing one error. Let us rectify that. Okay, so this was because of the calculations. We gave one operation here and we did not mention the field name. So let me delete this. It's activating. Let's wait for that. We'll also see one transaction where all these configurations are done. Okay, this is completely related to configuration, but still, if you want to see what the forms being used, we have a couple of transactions. Okay, let me open that sheet. Okay, the transaction is NAS, NASE configuration of output types. Okay, so yesterday I was browsing this, but I haven't explained what it is. Okay, let it, by the way, it's active NACE. Okay, so this is how the initial screen looks. Okay, so these are the applications. So all the developments are grouped into different applications. Okay, like sales, purchase, all those. So yesterday we tried creating something related to purchase order. So what I can do is I'll just check if there is something for purchase. It should be the purchase order, sales, shipping, billing groups. So these are the standard ones. Nothing is custom actually. So if this is purchase order, my EF is for purchase order. So if I just go, we'll have four options here. One is the condition record, means for what are the output types you can uh, configure for this particular output type. Sorry, for this application. These are the different output types. Okay, this is the condition record. Then procedures means what kind of outputs you can give here. So these procedures are actually created, the functionals. Okay, so we will just know. For us, the job will be like if someone has issued some sorry program or my print form, you can just know it from here. Generally, we will know what kind of output type it is. So we can directly go to the output type. This will be visible on my screen actually. So suppose for example it is ZNSC or new ZNU. Okay. So if it is related to mailing output, okay. So there are different outputs we have. So currently, if you see printer, fax, external, email, and distribution list. Okay. So for the email sending, if they want, we can just have this language title, all this. So in these different languages, they have maintained document title. So English. So this is for my email. So in case they are triggering my email, this will be used as my email text. Processing routines is what program and uh, what output type it will be using is what will be configured here. So it's a print output. This is the program. So fax. This is the program. So just based on my requirement, you can just write my logic. So generally, most of the cases it will be printouts. So in printouts, what will happen is like here we will see the form name and what is the program. So sometimes this will be standard and sometimes this will be custom. So here if we see this program, this is the form routine. So from here the code actually starts. So you can just put a breakpoint here, and in case it's the standard transaction, like suppose from ME23 and we are trying to take a printout, from here the program flow starts. You can put a debugger here, then start. So this is my form, whatever the PDF or smart form, whatever the name, you will get it here. We will need to configure this. So this is how we can find out uh, what kind of output it is. So if I go to this program, say this is the program. This will be SE38 program only. Display, and this is the form routine. Okay, we'll try to search. So we have two form Adobe entry and normal one. It is a smart form. So here you can the form type will come either it's a smart form or a PDF. By default, this should be a smart form. So if I go here, Adobe entry. Okay, they have changed it. Form. So this is a form entry NEU. So if you put a breakpoint here, it will start coming. So once you trigger the output type from a transaction, you can start debugging it. So it's a standard one. So we have all standard code. That is how you can see what is the form behind the print configuration. Only one transaction. Okay. Let's go back to the form. So it is activated. Okay. Now we have given the header data. Okay. So item number we have given. Yesterday our plan was to put 3 columns in my table: item number, short text, and material. Now I have put header item. Okay. Then the cell 2 will go short text. You can rename the cells. That's okay. No problem. I'll just rename short text. Okay. And the last cell is material number. Material number. Okay. I'll activate it. We'll see once how the output looks without my. I haven't mapped my values. Only the header is available. So let's see how it looks, and then we'll start writing the logic for my items, and then we will see how it works. Because I'm just opening another session. That's it. So 18 was the one which I gave yesterday. So text we have given for header, and this is for item. We haven't given any borders, anything, so nothing comes up. So let's try giving some borders to this header page. Okay, then we will start. Okay, in item table, on table level. So you have created one line item type, right? So there you can give. I'll go to 100%. And this is on your comfort level how you can use it. Okay, there is no standard anything standard actually. Whichever you want, if you want a ruler, grid, everything, it's just as per your comfort. Yeah, so box. So I click this icon, outer frame. Okay, then if I click inner frame, now you will understand. See, there is a dark line. So that means the border has come up. So you can drag and drop this width. So if you saw my output, right? My purchase item number was a little bit. Okay, it has come to my second line. So I'll just extend this short text. I'll give. This is one way you can do. Or if you go to the details, you'll have the parameters. Suppose my total length is 16.5. So maybe I can give 5 centimeters. Then 4 centimeters. Sorry, 5. And another is 6.5. So that will automatically get adjusted. Okay. 6.5. Okay. Now, if it here itself, it will catch hold if my total width is more than my table width. So if I give here, suppose 7, I will try saving it. It will say your width is too much. So the total of my lines here, it should not exceed my total table width. Okay. So I'll go back and put 6.5. I'll go back to my table printer. So there is a line with all my borders. So this should come with my borders. Okay. Now we'll go to the main area, means the table body. Let me activate and show this output, and then we'll start working on my table body. So you got only short text. Okay. So we haven't given it properly. Let me see what is the issue. Okay. Let's start working on our table body. Okay. Now in main area we haven't put any line item. So we can either reuse the same table line. What is the line type? Or suppose if you want to give any other type, you can give it. So I'm using the same line type. Okay. So for three headings, we should get 3 column sides. That is the reason I'm using same line item. Otherwise, you can also give different one. For example, in my footer, only you will have to show the last column. You can show it. So that is a different style. So line type. So if I go back to my cell, this is again my item number. Okay. Then the next one is okay. Item is already there. I'll put like body item. Okay. Then I'll put body short text. This naming is purely dependent on your comfort or the naming standards. There is no such nomenclature. I'm just putting it for understanding purpose. That's it. So 3 columns we have created. This is only the column structure. Okay. Now inside that we'll have to put our fields. So again we'll create text field. Okay. To hold my text values. Okay. So again for the second one text and the third one text. Okay, now we'll have to put the values. Okay, now these values will come from my item table. We have given the work area, right? The data GT items, W items is what we have given. So what will happen is the values will have to map. So this is my work area. Then what are the field names? We'll have to pick it from here. So these three, okay, these three are there. So I'll just copy paste all this. Then values means it should be in the ampersand. So this I'll just prepare the fields so that I'll just copy paste inside. That's it. These are the values I'm going to print. Now I'll go back to my form. Sorry. First I'm going to my view item number. Okay. Let's put the value against that first. Enter. Item. Okay, so there are certain operations on my text values. We'll discuss that one by one. So for my table column, we can just give it as C. Okay, so we'll see what will happen if that doesn't, it's not given. Then we'll see. Later we'll add it. Okay. Just the system is a bit slow. So I'll put the values against the other two as well. So if the value come in, only the identification what we'll have is, or just small check is, if this is not in, if it is coming like this highlighted, then it is considering the value of this particular variable. Otherwise, it will be a plain text actually. That is a check we can have. So now this means it is coming as value. So for the second field also, I'll just give it. I'll go back to my editor. Okay. This is the second value. Just copy paste. And then I'll give the value for the third one also. I have given all my three columns. So let me Just activate it. See, just we have written the logic, but we haven't, just we have created the form, but we haven't written any logic to print my lines. Okay, so nothing will be printed there. So we'll have to write logic for that. Okay, so let me take it up. Okay, so see now two ways we can write the logic. On any element level, we have an option to write the code. Okay, so for example, here I can write code. So this is on my used case purpose. Okay, so this is just a generic example. That's why we'll not have any such requirements. Otherwise, on my table level, I can write my code. See, right click. Go back some issue. Okay, so this is on my table level. Just done a right click. Not sure why. Yeah, so create. So it will ask for flow logic. Means I can just give some program lines, commands, alternate some loops I can give. So this is completely based on my use case. Now instead of my giving my tables, sometimes what we can do directly we can give a loop and just print on going on printing values. Okay, this I can do on my item uh, table level. Then item level also I can do it. Loop and command. Command is like I can give some code. Suppose on specific field level I have to write some logic. This is on my header level. Instead of text, I can still create program lines and commands. Okay, so this is possible on every screen. So if you want, there will be some requirements on invoices or any standard usage or smart form printing. There might be a requirement like only this particular field separately will have to handle with some code. In that case, you can go with this code. But currently, what I'm doing is I'm just putting my code in my global initialization. Okay, so I have okay, this one is for my initial header things. I have put the select statement. Okay, now same if my EBLN is not initial, I'll also take maybe 5 entries or 10 entries from a table, or for 18 whatever is there, those entries will be coming up. So I'll do select. So what are the fields we have in my item is these three EPLEP. These three I'll just take it. Okay. That will be from my EKPO table, item table. Okay, from EKPO to. So if I give into table, it means it will accept multiple entries. Okay. Now my global variables I will have to take GT. What is my table name? What we have given here, GT items. So this one we can just copy paste. Okay. Where my EPLMS. That's it. Now I'll just do the check. Okay, GT items is unknown. So it is unknown because we haven't given it as a either input or output parameters. I'll put it here. So, it is on. I'll activate it. Okay. So now on my EKPO, we'll just see EKPO. 18 is what we are trying to give as an example. So it has 10 line items. So the expectation is it should print 10 line items in my smart form. 18 till 1 to 100, 10 to 100. Okay. So we'll see. Now, so short text, item number, and material number is what should be printed. Let's execute it. So 18. Execute. See, there are 10 items printed. Okay. But the box hasn't come just because of that formatting. So here you can just play around. Item, this one, these borders. So we'll have to check why the other borders haven't come. See, in my short text, all my borders have come. Okay. Then for my material number, the below borders have come. So just you can will check it why it hasn't come. So individually maybe you can try separately. So this is how we'll print a table. Now we'll go to the footer. Okay, suppose for example, I'll have to display maybe uh, let's say total, because here material number is there, so no use actually, but still I'll try to show one. Now what I can do is I can create another row, insert empty line or above or below. Okay, or I'll do copy row, but I'll insert, okay, below, so it will create a row. So here I can just match. I'll just do a split cell. Okay, so I can just match my box with this above box. So my footer format is this one. So I can just give my boxes. Okay, okay. So it's like we have given a box here. So in this part we'll have to show some total and some number here. So how we can do that is, if I go to my footer, create table line. Okay, so now the line type will have two. Here we have given one for my header and as well as my body. So here I'll get line type 2 because I need only two. Now we will get two cells. Here again you can just go give the text. Okay, so I'll say some total. Okay, just give total. I'll just give a label and value just for understanding purpose. Okay, you can give any field values here, like in the calculation as I showed, right? So sum, total, those field values also you can map it here so that the total will come up. Total label. I'll create a text here saying total value. Total value. Okay. So the alignments and all you can just use some format instead of formatting here. The predefined formats are there. So those things you can use it. The SAP styles, whatever it is. Okay, that format you can use it. Now in this form, we'll see what is available. We had a system format. Okay, so that is the reason you will not get any options to edit the format here. Just let me activate it, then we'll see how we can give formats. Okay, so now let me go back. Global settings, attributes, options. So this is my style system. Okay, now if I go to my SAP smart forms, there is second option called styles. Okay, let me go there. So style, this is system. So these are the styles which are available. Okay, now header format, paragraph, character format, everything is there. Okay, so now if I want to put this H, so it's a bold highlighted, so character H. Okay, So let me put this bold for my total. So how should I put it is, this is my text, okay, general attributes. See, if your Microsoft Word is supporting well, here itself you can give that the format, okay, format. Here you can just select the text for label, and I think here it is not shown format name. So I'll go to my editor. So here the formatting is okay. So here you will not get left justified. This is the formatting. So I have something called hedge. Okay, so let me try giving that value. This is B, that is hedge. Okay, let me see if this accepts. Unable to call piece filter. Okay, it's not taking it. Output options. Style, it is not the system. Okay, so on that we will have to give what is the style. In that style, then you will have to give what is the format. Now H is accepted. For every element, you will have a style here. Output options. This is on the my field level. Instead, directly you can give it on my table level also here system. So I'll try giving it here, and I'll remove it there. Then we'll see how it behaves. So this style will be followed on my whole table level. I'll remove it here. It should accept actually. See, now it has accepted because I have given my style on my whole table level. Now I'll activate. So the expected output is total. The first label should be in bold. Okay. Now I'll just execute the program again. '18 is my PO. It doesn't come. We'll have to see why it is. So total label and total values. If it has come only in the last line. So I can also play around with my settings. Okay. So now we will see something called templates. Okay. So what is a template? It's a kind of organized output. Okay. So what happened here? I have given my values for. Let me go to 50%. Okay. This header data is there. Okay. So for this header data, you'll have to put some proper spacing. See the output here, it is not so good. Okay. So what happened here is, let me execute it again. See, this one is just scrambled one. So if you want to put it in proper spacing and like kind of boxes, the template is applicable for all the layouts, any window, a table, normal one, everything. So let me put a template for this. What the procedure is here, create new template. Okay. So template is nothing but how you saw this table. Similarly, it will look the same. System. I just give it. Okay. Same. How the lines, columns you can decide. You can do it. Okay. Now I have three fields here. PO number, created on, created by. Okay. So I'll have three columns added here. One, insert, two, and column three. So three columns are there. Okay. So this output will be adjusted automatically. Okay. So in this whole window, these columns will be split. So if you go to details, so this is a standard width. My total width is 11, so my width will be copied automatically. Okay. And my based on my height, output options, template, sorry, data. So height should be equal for my this one. So it's 5. The template height should also be 5, so that we can adjust it out. So maybe this one I'll give it is 6 centimeters. So I'll adjust my header. Output is I'll make it 6 centimeters. So that will go a little overlapped. So I'll just adjust my position. So you can do vice versa. Either you can adjust my window based on my template or template based on my window. Now I have three rows here. I'll just split into columns. Cell, then split cell, split cell. Okay. Now I'll have to map each field. So I'll remove these fields. So here you cannot give multiple fields. So each field should go into one particular column. Okay. So I'll just remove this PO number. I'll just delete it. Okay. I'll create my fields inside template. So I'll need to create 6 fields now. 3 fields for label and 3 fields for my values. Let me create. Okay. So label I'll just name LBL PO. Okay. So similarly I'll have to create 2 more labels. So I'll just create 2 more text. Layout you can always manipulate. I'll just show how it is. So this is for my label created on. I think those are the 3 values: created on and created by. Yeah, created on, created by. So label created on, created on. Okay, I'll just give on, label on, then sorry, text 7, label by. Okay. So I'll just let me put in the labels. This is PO number. Just go to my editor. PO number. Then created by. Created by. Then created on. Created on. Okay. So let me save these values. Now I'll have to control which position this has to be printed. See, now what happened is first we have PO number created on, created by. Okay. So similarly to this template, I'll have to give the labels here: PO number created on, created by. Okay. So now we'll see how we can assign. And I'll go to PO. This is the label. Go to output options. See, you will have a separate uh, section here called output structure. So because we have put this in template, it will come up here. So in my line 1, column 1, I need my PO number. Okay. So similarly, line 1, okay, it will be line 2, sorry. Line 2, column 1. And this one, line 3, column 1. So this is nothing but these lines and columns I am talking about. Template, line 1, line 2, line 3, column 1. So that is the reason I have put it. Now once you assign these values, if you double click on those elements, it will navigate to my element, because I have put my output option here 1 from. So this is very simple way of navigating. So when you have complex things now, you will have some difficulties in identifying. Suppose I have 10 fields in my template. So if you want to know which field is mapped to what, if it is mapped, okay, if you just double click on this, it will go to my whatever field it is mapped to. Now on template, so this is my C1 line 1 column 1. Example, I will have to line 3 column 1. This is actually mapped to my label on. So if I double click, it should go there. Yeah, label on. Okay. Now the right second column I haven't mapped. So if I double click, nothing will happen. See, nothing happens. Now I'll create another field, the values. So I'll have to create val PO. Then one is for, so three text I will have to create. One is for val PO. Sorry, I think it has val on, val by. Okay. So these are the 6 fields I have given in the template. So 6 fields. So not 6 text values I have. So I'll just map my PO values also. Before that I'll have to give the value right here. The value mapping. So I can also try to get the value. Let me get those values from my structure GS header. These 3 values. Okay. So I'll just prepare this. Okay. And just to make my copy paste work easier, just preparing nothing else. You can do however comfortable you are. So value 2 created on, created by. Okay. And ampersand. So these will be my values. Okay. Now for my value PO, I'll go to my editor. I'll give my first value PO. Go back, then value on, editor, my second value. This is my date. Go back, by. See, even if you see my order is different, I can play around with my navigation, my layout, template layout. So the order of the fields doesn't matter. Without a template, whichever order you give, those fields will come up. You can see, observe the difference actually. Value by element. Okay. So now I haven't given any positions. Okay. So in my template, I have given labels only for my positions only for my label fields. For the other 3 fields, I haven't given the position in my template. First, let's see what will happen if my positions are not given. Okay, I'm activating it. So for the values, I haven't given the positions. Okay, let me execute and see. See, it's some scrambled. Okay, because PO number I have given in template, created by and created on I have given, but the values I haven't given. So user, so if you see the order, value by, value on and PO. So username, date and PO number. Username, date, PO number. If I am not giving it the template, it will come in the same order how the text fields are given. But if you see my PO number, when I given the template, it has properly come as per my template. So PO number is the third field, but it has come in my first position because I have given my template. Okay. So now I'll go give these values properly in my, so PO number, output options, output structure. See, this is the output structure. Let me scroll down. Line 1 it is, and column 2. Then created on, it's line 2 column 2. Then created by line 3 column 2. Okay, we'll just save it. And if you want to make sure if you are properly given my mappings, so you can just come here again. This is my PO number, so label. So you can just double click and see if you have correctly given it. Responding. Just give me a minute. See, so value PO. So I have given it correctly. Similarly, you can check for the others. This should be my value created on. Okay. So if I double click, yes, I am coming on my on. Then third value, third row, value by. So similarly, how you gave for table, here also you can give boxes. That is also possible. I will give boxes. So if I just side frame. See, if you don't get the boxes, it is only issue with the frames. These are the only controls of frames. Okay. So this is a box as I have given. I'll just activate it. So this is purely on how the customer wants the layout. So generally what will happen is this header details and most common fields are address, the header, all these things. Okay. So the layout properly you'll get a layout in a print or a PDF form with proper margins, everything you will get. So then you need not worry much about that. But you should know where to do what. That should be fine. Now we'll see how the output looks. It's activated. I just come back. Just execute 18. And see, this has come up properly. So this what to say, this alignments, everything you can just handle with your formats, styles. Okay. Now if I want to decrease the width, say so the customer says but there is a lot of gap. Okay. You can simply go there and decrease the width. Simply you can do that. So what I can do is template output conditions. Sorry, output only. Let's just now. Yes, sorry. Instead of 2, I can just make it 120 mm. I'll make it 10. Okay. Now the thing is, it should be truncated to 1 centimeter. If it is more only, you will have errors. If it is less, it will not come. No, it will not give any errors. So I have adjusted it. I'll just rerun what will happen. See, this has been truncated. Okay. So these are the different operations. See, table is the most important thing in my Smartforms because sometimes what will happen is it should go to, suppose I have only 10 here, okay, but in case I have 20, so that should flow properly to my the next page. So this total label should be appearing only my last page. So such things you'll have to take care carefully. And there will be some what you say in sales orders or some purchase orders, invoices. There will be some what you say this terms and conditions. So that should come as a text. Okay. Now I will show one thing. In SAP, there is something called standard text. Okay, so that one I forgot to tell you. Standard text SO10 is the transaction. Okay, standard text. Okay, so the standard text uh, can be used in different places. Okay, so one my most used case in the order level, say sales order, purchase order, there are some places called text. Okay, so they can maintain. I'll just show one sample maybe. Okay, this doesn't open it up. Okay, so let me show what is SO10 first. SO10. Okay, this is the transaction slash and SO10. So the text will have three different things. Okay, one is my text name, text ID, ST is for standard text. We have other text as well. Okay. So work item text, then some text related to my what you said is sales order, purchase order, many things are there. So standard text is generally for ST. Okay. Now I'll create one standard text, Z demo ST. Okay. It is not there. Okay. So we can create it. Okay. So I'll just say this is an example of standard text. Okay. So this can be used in multiple places. Okay, either Smartform, Adobe Form, my script, or in my program level. Everywhere you can use it. Suppose they'll say, boss, I need to print this. See, this is the standard usage. I want to print it on my invoice side after my footer. That is the example I'll take now, and I'll see how you can do it. Okay. Now, I didn't save it. I just saved it. Right? So now, if I just go display, once after I save it, so this is my standard text. Okay. This will all we can also give values here. So how you give values in my smart form. Similarly, you can give values also here. Okay. So for example, I'll just give system date. Okay. This is an example of standard text printed on. So I'll give my date. Say data. This is the system field. Okay. Sorry, ampersand, not percentage. Ampersand, system, ampersand. Okay. So I'll just save it. Go back. If you see this print preview, sorry, this is an example of standard printed. So my system field is considered as my date. So today's date is printed. So I can add another field name. Maybe I'll add couple of fields. Okay, printed on by my username I'll give. Okay. So ampersand psi uname. So this system fields will just get used to it once you use it. Okay. So this is my complete standard text. So I'll save it. Just let me wait for some more time. Okay, now I'll go back. If I see the print preview, see this is an example of standard text printer. My system variables, they'll print it. So likewise, instead of system variables, you can use the program variables as well. Okay, so that depends on the program. Now what we will require is these three details, two details at least, standard text name. Okay, so this zdemo st, I'll just note it down. Okay, now I'll see how I can use this in my Smartform. So there is one function module which is used to read this text. Okay, so it is, I think, read text. Let me see if it is correct. Display. Yeah. So in programs, if you want to read this text, then you can just give this use this function module and get the text. So the important parameters here would be client is default, ID, the ID which we just created. Sorry, that is the name and language. Okay. So if I give execute it, I think name it should come up. Okay, value. Here, if you okay, let me go back to the standard text, pick the values. Send so 10. So if we go to the header, I think header is also not there here. Display. Name text ID. So these things we'll have to give. Text ID is ST. Okay. Language, you can give EN object. object is generally doesn't have VBK. Just forgot this value actually. Let me recollect what is that. So this ID is standard text and there will be something called object. Okay. So this object will be like what kind of text it is. Okay. So if I said previously I was telling like oh this one in sales order, purchase order, there will be some text, right? So there generally the object values is VBBK, VBAP like that it will be there. But generic thing I'm not sure what they use it. So they didn't pick it up. Okay, let me see in the smart form, then we'll see come back here. So now after my item table, I just want to print some footer text. Okay, so window, I'll push it after my main window. I'll say footer. Okay, so in my footer, I want to create a text. Okay, so this text when you come here by default it will be text element. Okay, means you can just go and give the description there. Here if I come, I have text module, dynamic text and include text. So this text module, sorry it's not text module, include text I guess. Let me see, include text. Yeah, see, if you come here it will just say what is the text key you want to give. So my object name is demo, text ID is standard text. So it will just go, that's not required, st is not text ID. So text object I'll give st and see. Here also there is a value. Text object is already required. Same one we had and should just let me see how we can get this. Value is it right? Object should be, I think text. Let me try text. Okay, we'll see if this works. Oh, okay. So if this the text doesn't exist, generally it will throw an error. Okay. So if you want to skip that error, you can just give this checkbox. Let me see if this works. Yes. So text object is text. Okay. This is the default value. Let me see. Go to the function module and see if this works. Yeah, this works actually. So this is a programmatic way you get that text. So this will be in the lines. So if you go to the lines, see. This is an example of standard text printed on. This is the text actually. We are getting it from my programmatical way. So I have put it in my smart form. Let me see what will happen. Okay. Now, why this checkbox is required, I'll tell you. Suppose I do demo test 1. This actually doesn't exist. Okay. So if I try check here, it will not give any error. It will just activate it. Okay. Now I'll try running it. Smart forms. And execute. 18 is my PO which we are using. Okay. So it says include text does not exist. It has given an error. The printout did not come. Okay. Instead, what that particular setting will do is, if I just give this and activate, if my text is not there, it will still print my smartphone. So that is the significance of this particular checkbox. So because these are manual steps, okay, we can either put it in transport as well as in manual. Okay, so what will happen is sometimes people might forget to maintain this, so it should not hit my smartphone printing. Okay, so that is the purpose of this checkbox. Let me execute it. 18 is my PO. Print preview. So it's still printed. Okay. The text is not there. That is the reason it is printed. Now I'll give the correct text name. I'll give text the actual one which we created. Okay, now I'll try executing it again. 18 is my PO. Preview. So this is an example. It printed here itself. Okay, because we haven't given any position for that. So we'll put a proper window below the footer and we'll see how it works. Because it's just a text, nothing, no template, nothing we have given. So for us, it should be printed. It should be printed here. Okay, so I'll move the footer next to the, because whatever new element you create will go on top by default. So I'll just put expanded. I'll properly put my window. Okay, now I'll see how it behaves. We haven't seen that layout, so that is why it printed on the top. Okay, let me rerun that again. Execute. 18. Print preview. See, so it has come below my table. So whatever position I have given, so here is my position. So it comes after my main window only. So that is the reason you see a gap between my main window and my text. So this is it. So see my system fields are also taken. Okay. Now we will see if we can put. See, we discussed like we put the variables from program also, right? So I'll try to put this PO number. So we'll see whether this will work or not. Okay. Just for trial purpose, we'll see. I'll go to my. So what is my ER name? It should be EBLN. EBELN. Okay. This is my value. So I'll just see if this works. So this one I'll put it in my standard text. Okay. So /o/so10 system variables it has taken. So I just want to test whether it takes my program variable. Okay. So the next line I can say by for the PO this PO. Okay, I'll just save it. If I execute that PO value, just should come. Here it will not come because it does that variable is not identified here. So let me see if that variable is identified in my smart form. So I'll just rerun that again because now no need to activate the smart form, it is only the text part. So I'll execute it again. 18 PO. Yeah, see, it has accepted my variable. So this is an example. This is the first variable, system variable. Then this is my second system variable. This is my program variable. It is not my global variable. It's a program. So you can give variables which are either global or local. When local variables, if it is not executed, I mean, if it is not executed from the smart form, that didn't pick the value. But in my smart form when I run, the P1 number is available. That variable value is also available, so you can print. So the text sometimes what they will say the P1 number should come or may created by some values. So this is how we can manipulate these values. Okay. So that's the most used case scenarios in my smart forms. Right from top to bottom we have covered. Okay. Sorry, logo, the header data, item data, in table footer data we seen and the actual footer data we have seen. Because these are the most commonly used scenarios. Apart from this, I don't see any used case. Maybe you may get page break or any terms and conditions which you want to print only in my last page or what else. That's it actually. These are the most used case scenarios. Okay, so that's on my smart forms. Okay, so let me see what is left out in my basic ABAP topics. Okay, so I haven't covered conversions because those will come only into picture when you work on data migration projects. Okay, but nowadays what they are doing is everything they are putting into Excel and they are asking to upload. In conversions, there are two actually. One is BDC and LSMW. Okay, LSMW. LSMW is legacy system migration workbench. Okay, so what when this will come into picture is when my customer is moving from a completely non-SAP system to an SAP system. Okay, so when we in the initial classes we discuss some kinds of works on my SAP, right? So one is product development. Let me just rerun through those. Product development. Okay, see this is done by my SAP labs and their partners. I should not say partners, it is solution partners. Okay, okay, that is my product development. So now none of the solution or my consulting companies will do this. Product support. Okay, so these are again by my SAP labs itself and my solution partners. So whatever product they are developing, that should be supported. Then there is something called some terminologies: greenfield implementation, brownfield implementation, migration. All these terms are there. Okay. So now if my customer is coming from a non-SAP to SAP, that will be termed as SAP implementation. Okay, so sometimes they'll say greenfield implementation, fresh implementation, new implementation, different terminologies. Okay. Then the other thing would be from my ECC to HANA. Okay. So for the next 5 to 6 years, this will be hotcakes actually because everyone now SAP will be stopping support for my ECC. So everyone will move to HANA databases. So this is one of the major projects which will be going on. Okay, this one anyone can do. Maybe SAP partner, who knows SAP can do this. Okay, then upgrade. So in systems itself, suppose I am on in ECC, they are like enhancement pack 6, 7, 8, then ECC 6, ECC 7, all those things are there. When you come to S4 HANA, there are versions starting from maybe 15, 10, 15, 0, 9, then 16. So every year they will release some versions, okay? 16, 10, 17, 9, 18, 10, 19, 9, 20, 20. Okay, this is already in market. 2021 is in still testing phase. Means what they will do is upgrades. Suppose in my level 1, okay, I have around 400 programs. Okay, so maybe suppose this is on a yearly basis. So I'll take it on March 2020. I am on level 1, 400. So from in March 2021, it's not like I am on level 2, but due to various complaints or issues, maybe I have created some 100 programs. This is from SAP standard. I'm not talking about any Z programs. So to make sure like or 100 corrections, I'll say 100 corrections I have done to my standard components. So the component what I told is on top of my package. That is the component. Okay. So I have done 100 corrections to my component. So I'll just release one service pack SP. So all these details you will see here: system status, the service pack, the component, what is this, everything you will see. So if I go to my component version currently is EHP. This is an EHP system. If I go to the details, you will see what is the support package. If you see each component has different support packages. Okay, so that means for basis some corrections they have released. Okay, so these are like these are all the basis kind of things, but just for understanding purpose, I am telling. So if these are the upgrade projects. Okay,
So there different upgrade projects will happen. So suppose for example on basis they are on release 730. They're asking, okay, we'll upgrade to 740. So that is an upgrade project altogether, because and in as an ABAPer we have couple of roles to do there. There's something called SPAU and SPDD activities. Okay, so this is nothing but SPDD is like service pack data dictionary objects. Like suppose in my previous version I have around 10 fields. Here there are new fields added. Those will come into picture. SPA is for my all other activities like program, function modules, everything. Sometimes it will be either manual activities or sometimes it will be automatic. Okay, so these are the different types of projects we have. Then the actual thing is support. So this one they will say as ECC to HANA migration. Then support. So support projects any consulting or any person can do. So my ABAP object will be different between my support as well as change management. Let me tell that as a change management. So these are the broader classification of all different types of project. So my ABAP role is there in every project. So based on that, the different topics they will be using. Okay. Now when we come to this LSMW, that is mostly used in my third one. When my non-SAP project from non-SAP client to SAP client, they are coming. Okay, now we have different tools actually. So this has actually wiped out. Now when coming to my BDC, it's called batch data communication. Batch data communication. So what this does is, in this I have again two methods. One is call transaction method and one is sessions method. Okay. So what call transaction method is, so suppose I am creating one sales order, or I create to be more specific, I'm creating one sales order. Okay. So what I will do is I'll just record all my screens. It's like a recording. So in modern terms, I can say it is something like an RPA, robotic process automation. What it does is you do one action, it will keep on repeating. Simple. Backend there is a generated program. Now so uh, in my front end, I'll just record my process of creating my sales order. It will create a program in the backend. So what I can do is I can just give the inputs, call that program, it will create a sales order. That is the purpose of BDC, call transaction method. Sessions, nowadays no one is using it. So these are the two left out topics. We will see if I can catch hold of any migration data, because this is the older system. These two examples are not possible here. So the next one, I'll just see if I have left anything. What I can immediately remember is search help. I think I haven't created anything. So that is one. Then log objects. Okay. So this one we will just see. If you, I hope everyone has the list of syllabus topics. Okay. So if you feel anything is missed, just ping me once on my WhatsApp. I'll just see whether that is actually missed or we cover as part of any topic, so that today we'll wind up, or maximum by tomorrow we'll wind up the basic ABAP. So from Monday freshly we'll start on OOPS ABAP. So that will be base second critical topic. Okay. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining. Yeah.